Well, welcome back to another episode of In Good Company, where we believe that the best parts in business happen in good company. And my next guest, we spend a lot more time together than just in the business realm. We are neighbors, and our little boys are growing up together. They spend so much time. We've been to Disney together, vacations, you name it, we've been there. But this is the perfect guest for someone who is out there and there's specific things that maybe you're like, is this a hobby? Am I just interested in this? Or is this actually a job? Kristen has done an incredible job of taking a passion for weddings and for special events, taking your day and making it special. And she's turned that into a career that has absolutely changed the lives of so many. I cannot be more excited to welcome to the podcast, Kristen DeBadts.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. It's so good to be here. I know we're going to be driving in the exact same direction after this podcast, but for those that don't know,
we just did this in the backyard.
I know, gosh. In fact, I think our kids were recording things in the backyard a few weeks ago.
Yeah, they were making their own YouTube channel.
Oh my gosh, maybe they'll make money or something for us.
Oh, hopefully, that would be amazing.
Just quit.
Yeah, yes, then we can just market for them.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. For those that don't know your story, don't know a little bit about you, where did you grow up? Like, what's your story? How did you get involved in what you're doing?
So I grew up in the small town of Waterport, New York.
Let's go.
I started this career, I should say, as an intern back in 2004, 21 long years ago.
Whoa.
Yeah, I thought I was walking into an event planning company. I wanted to be an event planner. Little did I know, my first day was actually a bridal show.
Okay.
Yeah, and I fell in love with the back end of it, working with these wedding professionals, growing their businesses, introducing them to amazing local companies or local couples.
Yeah.
That help make their day magical.
It's amazing. And what has it been? Obviously, our podcast is called In Good Company. I can imagine over the past 21 years, like those type of connections that you've made, I've got to believe that that's everything in that industry, right?
It's crazy. It is all about connections. Building up the business is about building relationships. You know, I'm not trying to sell these people bridal show booths and ads in a magazine and ads on a website. I'm selling my relationship with them, what I can do to help their company grow, what our company can do to help their companies grow. That's where it all starts, is building relationships. You make these lifelong friends. And there's people that I've started with 21 years ago that have been friends that came to my wedding that have helped make my dreams come true in the same time.
Yeah. I think what's really fascinating about someone listening is, I know you and I are very similar. We're extroverted people. If we could go to a conference center and just talk to people for 8 hours, we would just be fine. We'd be happy. We'd come home. We'd be all energized, all good to go. But I do think when you're younger and you're an extrovert at times, people can almost push that down. Like, you're talking too much in class. You're, you got to focus on this. You got to do that. What advice would you have to someone that maybe does just like talking to people? They do like just kind of getting out there and spending time. What advice would you have for someone that's maybe early in their career that maybe for years they've kind of suppressed that?
Get out there, meet as many people as you can, make as many connections as you can. It may not even be a direct connection that's going to help you today, but it might help you tomorrow or down the road. The people I have met have helped me throughout everything from, I've reached out to you for marketing questions. My husband's an accountant. People in his field that they're not even involved in the wedding industry, have helped us with money questions. There's so much to lean on when you just have this community of people behind you.
Yeah. And my wife and I got married 11 years ago in September, on September 5th. And even looking back 11 years ago, my wife was not like a bridezilla. She was not over the top, but there were so many freaking details.
Oh, yeah.
And one of our employees here at Thomas Media Group, Allie, she just got engaged. She's getting married next year as well. And I just know in today's world where there's all these different websites and Pinterest boards and you name it, what is like that one piece of advice to a bride that you, from your years of experience, like what's maybe like one little elevator pitch to them that you feel like could kind of ease their anxiety?
Enjoy the moment. It is stressful. And that's why we do what we do. That's why we have a website and a magazine and these wedding expos, because like we were saying, there's a lot of different people out there. I love to talk. I love to be in person. Yeah. I'm going to go to the bridal shows and the wedding expos because I want to meet these people in person. Now, my husband, he's completely opposite. He does not want to go to an in-person event. He's going to use the magazine and the website. Find what works best for you and don't stress about it. It's going to be a great day. And once you get through the first planning steps of finding the venue, picking the date, it all flows from there.
Shout out Mike DeBadts. Legend. That's awesome. And it's great advice because, again, I think that there's no, and I don't know the industry as much as you do, but it's like there's no one size fits all. There's right way to do something, right? Ultimately, it's the bride's day and she gets to, again, you guys are doing the research. You guys are making those partnerships, those connections. Is it almost like a one-stop shop for people when they work with you? Yeah.
So what we offer, we have Rochester Wedding Magazine and rochesterwedding.com, which is going to be our publication that's on the streets. We have advertisers, that there's timelines that are in there, budget sheets to help you plan those days because it's overwhelming. When you first get engaged, you're so excited. You're like, oh my gosh, I got this ring. Let's go dress shopping. You go dress shopping and you don't realize that there's 50 different types of dresses that you can choose from. You know, there's different fits, there's different cuts, what's going to fit your body best. Then you get into the venues. There's different venue sizes and the prices. You don't realize how expensive a wedding is until you start planning it. So we've put together a lot of different things to help them with this, budget sheets, timelines.
Wow.
And then there's the website. Our website, you can go there and you can search for venues, DJs, photographers. It's going to break it down by category. Then it's going to give you a list of all those wedding professionals that you could work with. You can go through and look at their images, go to their website, check out their social media, see if they're the right ones for you. Now, if you're an in-person couple planning, you're going to go to one of our wedding expos. You're going to walk in, you're going to meet 60 to 100 different wedding professionals at any of our wedding expos. You get to, see if they meet your style, budget, personality. That's huge too. That's why I like in-person events because I want to meet the DJ that's going to fit my vibe at my wedding day.
Yeah.
I want to work with a wedding consultant that has the same vision as I have. And that's where wedding expos come into play. It's making it an easier platform for you just to show up, walk in excited, and leave with a handful of items to help you plan your wedding too.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. And what's the best way for someone to get a hold of you guys? Is it going to the website, filling out a contact form?
If you go out to rochesterwedding.com, there's a contact form in there. It has all of our upcoming wedding expos listed. You can click right on the, there's a tab right on the top of it to get your free wedding workbook. We'll send you a wedding workbook with all timelines and different worksheets to help you plan your day. We also give you a free copy of Rochester Wedding Magazine too. You can pick that up on the streets or we'll mail it to you for free as well too.
I love it. That's awesome. One of the things that we do in our podcast, we do a segment called Fails of the Week because it's so easy for us on social media to see like, oh my gosh, what a beautiful website. And this, I would love to be a part of a business like this. And it's so easy to kind of like see the best. Are there any funny stories over the past 21 years that maybe weren't funny at the time, but you're like, dude, this was a big time fail?
I wouldn't say, a few weeks ago.
All right, let's go.
This one's real fresh.
Let's go.
We had our September show scheduled for September 7th, which is typically a week to 2 weeks earlier than we do it. But we had to do it just because we work around the Buffalo Bills schedule with our shows. We also work around a lot of other events locally. And this was in Syracuse, so we have to watch Syracuse football. So we booked this one venue that was just coming back. We did shows there years ago, but then they closed down for a while. So they're reopened. We're ready to go. We love this venue. It's a perfect size. It's got a great layout. So we're excited. We're just about sold out at the expo for our wedding professionals and booth spaces. And about 4 days before the show, we get a call from the venue that unfortunately their big conference center has an issue and we cannot use it.
Whoa.
So that is where a majority of our booths are. So there's nothing we can do at this point. We drop everything and we work together as a team with our staff and with their staff, and we pivot and make a plan. Just like every wedding, something could go wrong. Nobody even noticed that we didn't use the conference center until we brought it up.
Yeah. Yee. That's tough.
So we learned one. Be careful when you're doing events at new venues because you never know what's going to happen.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Do you guys have any stories from, and not that it would have been your fault or anything, but are there any stories from some brides or some people that you've worked with where they've had some fails or some moments where either you guys have helped support and like had them adjust or?
COVID.
Wow.
That's one big ordeal that we had to pivot and change the way. So many weddings were changed, canceled, had to reduce number sizes, and there was nowhere to turn for guidance at that point because it was so new. So we weren't doing expos at that point because we couldn't because they were so large.
Yeah.
But we still had our staff working behind the scenes, helping these couples, helping venues, helping vendors know what was going on, helping them know the new guidelines and what could be done, what couldn't be done. We were advocating for weddings to come back. So that was huge. And, you know, we also have had venues that have shut down.
Sure.
You know, we've had a venue shut down and a whole bunch of couples have nowhere to go. So we got together as a team. We got all the venues together in Rochester, put down a list of all the different dates that they had available and shared this with them.
Yeah.
We've had fraud with photographers where, you know, a photographer
Whoa.
from out of town came in here and tried to scam some couples, but we caught it right away too. So that was good.
Yeah.
You know, a couple felt a little off and we put out a press release to all those couples who was hurt by this. Let us help find new photographers for
Great.
you too. So, and it's all
Wow.
about community. So we reach out to our crew of photographers and say, hey, listen, can anybody help? What dates do you have available that we can share with these? And what are you willing to do to help these couples that are going through this right now?
Yeah. That was going to be my next question is if somebody's listening that maybe is a vendor or an aspiring vendor, maybe they have a passion in photography or videography, or really just events in general, how can a vendor get kind of in your guys' ecosystem when it comes to supporting some of these weddings?
Just reach out to me and I'll fill you in. We do so many different things. We're all about networking and collaboration too. So we host networking events quarterly in each of our markets because we do this in Rochester, Buffalo, and Syracuse. So we host these events to bring these vendors together because referrals are huge, especially in the wedding industry. And not only just referrals, but bouncing ideas off of each other. We also do a lot of education because education is also huge.
Yeah.
We educate our vendors on new trends, new ways to do things. We bring people together. Like you're going to be speaking at one of our next ones too.
I am. Cannot wait. It's going to be awesome.
And that's the biggest thing. It's if you're not ready for wedding expos or wedding advertising, that's okay. Still reach out, get in our database, come mingle and meet with all of us, and we can help you grow, not just by advertising and wedding expos, but just by bringing you together with other wedding professionals that are in that same situation too.
And I feel like different than maybe other like email lists and newsletter things that people sign up for, like you guys are not very spammy. And I think if anything, you guys are over the top generous. I think we've been at a couple different events with you guys, and you're always doing giveaways and like stay a couple nights at, you know, this incredible hotel. Like talk about that. Like why do you guys feel the need to be so generous and to give back kind of to that
We're
community?
only as successful as our clients are. So if we can build that up from behind the scenes to make you successful and make you come to our events, it helps us succeed in the grand scheme of things too.
It's amazing.
You know, I think generosity goes a long way too.
This might be a touchy subject for a business like yours, but I think it's an interesting topic. 21 years ago when you guys started to where we are today in 2025, from a cost perspective, from a like number of creative elements in weddings, like just kind of everything, how crazy has that pendulum swung?
So crazy. So let's just talk about 2004 when I started. Websites were just becoming like a thing. Everyone was trying to buy the .coms back then.
Yeah.
So we did. We bought a lot of them. That way we had every URL you could possibly imagine. Social media was not a thing. The Yellow Book. I remember my first day in the actual office going through a Yellow Book, typing in leads into our computer.
AA Wedding Expo. Yeah.
It was crazy. Weddings were different. You know, they were in banquet facilities, I think they called them back then. Hotels were huge. Now you're not seeing them as popular. You're seeing weddings in industrial buildings, golf courses, barns, people's backyards. They're turning into these grandiose events instead of just one big night of a wedding. Now they're making it an experience. You know, you're going to a wedding and you're going to see a cigar roller, somebody painting a live portrait there, more interactive things for these couples than just going and eating and drinking and dancing.
Wow. I got to get my paintbrush skills up to date so I can be at some of these weddings.
I'll tell you what, that live painting is awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. It's something so simple, but it's also giving you a memory that you can hang up and last a lifetime. And it's giving people entertainment while you're there, too.
Yeah.
Not everybody likes to get up and dance.
Right.
You know, some people want to just relax and look around. And, you know, there's audio books now. You can leave a message for the couple, photo booths, so many different things. The trends have changed where back when I started, it was dinner and dancing and in a 400-person wedding. You also don't see 400 people wedding. You can't afford to have a 400-person wedding anymore.
Oh, no way.
The average wedding is now 150, you know, people, if that, because they're taking that money and putting in all the extras instead of putting it into what they're paying per plate. Because the cost of that has probably tripled since I started.
Do you have general numbers of like the average wedding cost in Rochester?
So right now, the 2024 numbers just came out. So last year there was about 5,800 weddings in the Rochester area, and that includes the Finger Lakes section too. The average cost of a wedding was $38,000. Yeah.
And that's average.
It used to be $20,000 when I remember. I don't remember what year that was, but I remember when 20 was just average. Yep.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Man.
I think that's a scary thing that when couples come to a wedding expo and start getting prices, they get overwhelmed a little bit because you look at it and you're like, oh, I thought I could spend $10,000 on a venue. And then you realize the minimum at most venues is over $10,000 nowadays too.
Yeah. If you were to give someone a piece of advice on what do you feel like are kind of those pillar, like critical components that make a good wedding? Again, I know there's some of these nice to haves.
It all depends. It all depends on what you want, what you and your fiance want. Because like for me, I wanted a good time. My wedding wanted to be a good time. Cassie that works with me, she was really into the experiences, the food. She wanted good food. That was her number one priority. So her top of the budget was going to be the food and the decor because that's what she does. She's a creative director. She wanted a beautiful, decorated wedding. You know, a lot of people, entertainment. I think entertainment is huge because the DJ or band, they're going to lead what's happening throughout the night. So it all depends on your personal preference. I love food too, but it really wasn't my top priority because I wanted people to have fun. They can eat later if they want. So.
It's amazing. I have to share a personal story. I don't know if I've ever shared this with you. I was a pastor for a number of years. I've officiated probably 20 weddings or so. It's always the best. But I would always run into, and no offense to any DJs out there, I would just always run into like DJs that I felt like were just, they weren't great on the microphone. They were doing like the announcements. The songs were like half a second late as like, you know, the guests were running out. And then I had this business idea where I was like, what if I created a business called Pastor DJ? And you ready for this? Holy in the front, party in the back.
Oh my God.
Is that incredible?
How'd that work out for you?
I never started it. It was like my Shark Tank, you know, and I'm like, my business cards would be like bow ties. I'd always wear a bow tie. Like I had the whole thing.
That is the number one DJ look. Can I just tell you how many DJs like their logo is them in a bow tie? And I'm like,
I bet.
You got to get creative with it. But entertainment's huge. They do. They have that flow of the evening. They're going to set the mood for it. They're going to get the people up. They also keep you on schedule. So, you know, if you don't have a wedding planner there to do that, your venue sometimes has somebody to try to keep you on target, but the DJ is going to be the one that's keeping everything on target. They're moving it along. They're going to say it's introduction time. You're having so much fun, you shouldn't have to stress about, what time it is, where do I have to be, let them do it.
Yeah. Where do you get a lot of your inspo from? I know you're a big Disney buff, big Disney fan. Like, I know it's kind of silly to say, but I would imagine when you go on vacations like that and you're able to absorb some of the magic from other areas, like how important is that to you to have some of that margin in your own life to go do and enjoy life?
100%. You get inspo everywhere you go. And one thing that we've always looked at is the West Coast. West Coast, everything comes out first.
Right.
You know, we're in a group of WSPI, some other wedding producers internationally. I always look at what they're doing at their shows. We share a lot of information. Some of us have never met, but we're on this online platform together that we can say, hey, this is working for us. Check this out.
Yeah, it's great.
You know, we work a lot with wedding consultants and planners and venues. Just the inspiration out there online is endless. And once again, networking too. The networking is huge, and just seeing what other people have done. We also showcase a lot of real weddings in our publication and on our social media, because that's going to help people. That's what everyone likes. Everyone likes pictures, and that's where we have focused a lot. If you go to our website, you'll see all of our advertisers have loads of pictures on their profile page, because that's what sells. People want to look at the images. They're not even reading the verbiage anymore. They just want to see what you have to offer. That's why Instagram has gotten so big.
For sure.
And Pinterest and TikTok and all that. They're planning a little bit differently now. They're not just going one place. They're going everywhere. They're building these portfolios for their wedding. It's taking over their lives.
One of the new trends that I've been seeing, and we're implementing this on our agency side as well, is the emergence of UGC content, which is user-generated content. And we went to a wedding, my wife and I, in Nashville, I want to say about 2 months ago. And there was a woman that just had an iPhone on one of those little gimbals.
Content creators.
And I don't know what the price was. Let's say it was like $5,000 maybe. I mean, Nashville, pretty pricey in general. But her content was amazing.
Yeah.
And it was just an iPhone, but it was like, fade in shots, like bride walking down the aisle, cuts to like champagne being poured, cuts to...
Oh, yeah. It's huge. Yeah. That's at our last expos, we had a few content creators there. That's what people are looking for nowadays. They're not looking for these elite, they are still getting photography, but they're focusing more on what can I post on social media? What makes my wedding look so great?
And it feels real, right? Yeah. It's like, to your point about the wedding sizes being 400 plus or just totally a thing of the past, for that older grandparent that lives super far away that just can't be there, to have kind of that POV behind the scenes type of look is awesome.
Oh my God. People are streaming their weddings live too. That way they can see them. That's as much as COVID was a terrible thing. There were a good few good things that came out of it, the trends that have stuck, the smaller weddings going outside. People are turning their childhood backyard into an amazing venue, and they're getting creative with it too. There's so many different things that you can do. Having a smaller number of people at your wedding, you get to enjoy it more. And I think a lot of that goes to parents aren't paying for the weddings anymore. It's not like it used to be where mom and dad were covering the wedding fee. Now, a lot of these couples are, but that's also because the couples are older that are getting married.
Sure.
Back in the day, the average wedding was 20 to 23 years old. Now, it's 27 to 30 is pretty average for when couples are getting married.
Thank goodness I locked my wife down at 21 years old.
See, and I'm the opposite. I got married at 34.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. Are there any trends right now? I know we've talked about some, but are there any trends that you feel really excited about that are taking place, or some expos that you guys have put on where you're seeing things like, whoa, this is something that maybe not as many people know about, but it's really
the experiences. Emerging. I love the experiences. That's the trend I think that is really taken off right now. We've had tattoo artists at weddings.
Okay.
Giving small tattoos, or the bride and groom actually get a tattoo. Actually, our boss's kids did it. They're both tattoo artists, so they actually got tattooed right at their wedding. You're seeing a lot of stations too.
Got it.
You're having people that are having champagne walls. So you walk in and you're grabbing a champagne, cigar rollers, that's another big one. The audio guest books. People are having telephone booths where they can leave a guest 360 video. You get in a camera that goes around. It's just more about the experiences. And then there's the mob dancers, the flash mobs. Those are fun. They're still happening too.
How funny. Flash mobs. Oh my gosh. One of the other things that I just think, unfortunately, that can happen, whether it's in life, business, certainly weddings, is and vendors too, is how do you create a collaborative environment when it feels like there's so much competition and, don't use this person, but make us your preferred person with this and that. How do you continue to cultivate this really great community that isn't pushing people away, but it's inviting people in?
Well, and I think that's the hardest sell, is that there's so many different couples out there, and there's people looking for different things, and everybody has a different... There's a bride for everybody. There's a vendor for everybody. And the more we work together, it helps. And the one biggest thing that we've seen, DJs, equipment breaks. What do you do? You're going to call another DJ that you've befriended. Also, there's enough weddings in Rochester that you personally can't do every wedding. So if you have a referral list, guess what? You refer somebody to them, they're going to refer something
Yeah.
somebody back to you too. We can all grow together. We can work together, inspire each other, and learn from each other too. And I think that is the biggest thing that I see in the wedding industry, is the collaboration, people working together to grow, inspiring others, and also leaning on each other when you're in a time of need. We've had a photographer who fell ill the night before a wedding. Ooh. There is a photo chat group. Well, the amount of people that stepped up and were like, I can do 3 hours, I can do 2 hours, I can do this just to help out. You know, kindness goes a long way. If you're kind to others, they're going to return that favor to you. And you never know what's going to happen in today's world.
It's amazing. Yeah. And that's hard. I mean, it shouldn't be. Like, it feels like the normal human experience should be that generous and we're all in this together. But I know we live in a unique time where sometimes people are trying to, you know, keep everything for themselves. And
competition is great. Competition is great. One, it makes you look better sometimes.
Sure.
Two, it's something to grow from yourself. There's always room to grow. And if you just think you're the ultimate best, you're going to stop growing. You're going to stop looking. You're never going to be the ultimate best because tomorrow something could change.
Yeah.
Somebody else is going to come out with a better idea. So you just always have to be willing to grow.
Yeah. Yeah, don't stay comfortable, right? It's like you've got to continue to be learning, sharpening the axe, going to expos, going to events, learning what's new. And I think you guys have done a great job of obviously creating that space for people to learn and grow. Are there any events upcoming, Rochester, Buffalo, Syracuse, that you guys are excited about that you want to just give a quick promo?
We have lots of events coming up.
Let's talk about it.
So October 12th, we have a Rochester Wedding Expo at the RIT Inn and Conference Center. In Buffalo, we're November 9th at the Statler's, our next wedding expo. And those are for couples. Come attend. You're going to meet over 60 wedding professionals. We have some fun things happening. Swag bags they're getting. We're giving away honeymoons at both of those to the Caribbean.
Let's go. To the Caribbean?
To the Caribbean. Who doesn't want to win a honeymoon? And then for the Wedding Pro side of things, we have some good events coming up. November 5th, we are doing the why am I drawing a blank on the name?
That's okay. You can start that over.
On November 5th, we are doing the Bridal Brand Lab, which is a collaborative of different wedding professionals coming together and teaching each other how they have succeeded in the past. You're one of the speakers there.
Boom.
I'll be speaking there. We have Chris from Buffalo Event Group speaking there, and then John and Rich from Encore Events speaking there as well. These are all businesses that have grown to great lengths over the last few years and want to share their experience and their knowledge with the wedding professionals to help their businesses grow too.
That's awesome. So it sounds like you guys don't have a lot of things coming up then.
No, not we have a lot of free time.
Nothing too busy there. That's awesome. Yeah, I think, again, just listening with you, talking with you, one of the things I really appreciate about you is there's always room for someone at your table, right? I think if you're hosting a party, if you're doing something in the business world, I just think for anyone listening, whether you're driving your car and you're listening on audio or you're sitting and watching this on YouTube, if you're struggling to try to plan this whole thing on your own, or you feel like maybe, I know at times like there can be a lot of family dynamics and drama where it's hard to like pick someone where you're like, is this wedding for you, or are you trying to impress a family member? Like, it just can get messy.
Mothers get in the way for that. That's one thing that we see, especially at the wedding expos, when the mother comes in and she's the one with the ticket and she's like, this is my daughter, she's getting married. You know, that's the one thing that I have out there for mothers. Relax.
Yeah.
Let your kids plan their weddings the way that they want them.
Yeah.
Because it's their day too.
Yeah. And I just think if someone's listening and if that hits you and if you're like, oh my gosh, you guys are speaking to me, Kristen's got a seat at her table for you. And I know that their team would love to help you. And I'll probably be at that table too because we spend a lot of time with them. But before we close, I do have the rapid fire hot seat questions.
Oh, yes.
These are like quick 1 to 2 word responses or a sentence or whatever. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Ready to rock? Here we go. What is the one song that you would pick for your ideal expo entrance song?
Happy by Pharrell, because I'm always happy.
Excellent. What's your go-to Disney movie?
Oh, man. Little Mermaid? I just love Little Mermaid. Your daughter knows that, too. So.
Oh, she sure does. Wow. Which Disney character would you want to have most attended your wedding?
Oh, Moana, because she's so free-spirited.
Wow, and you got married
in Jamaica.
And she could have just come right off the ocean.
Right on the boat.
Wow. Oh my gosh. What is a favorite vendor type to collaborate with?
Photographers. I love photographers. They have these creative minds that are just genius.
Love it. And outside of New York, what would be a dream city to host a wedding expo for you?
Oh gosh, anywhere on the West Coast. San Diego, I would say. I love San
Let's
Diego.
go.
The trends happen there first. The weather's great all year round.
I love it.
I like California.
Last one. What is your favorite wedding decor trend right now?
Oh man. That's a hard one. I really like the champagne walls because I like champagne, and I like right when you show up, you have a drink in your hand and you're ready for fun. It starts that energy right from the bat.
Yeah,
and it also is just beautiful too.
It is cool, yeah. And it's like no looking for the bar, no standing in the long line. It's like,
Here,
let's
have
go.
a drink while you're waiting in line at the bar. And it also makes that entrance not so like blah. It's just beautiful. There's a big, gorgeous wall, glass of champagne. And a lot of people are using those as a table seats. So you can find your name and you know right where you're going with your glass of champagne.
Look at that. You heard it here first. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you. This is fun.
Absolutely awesome. And thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of In Good Company, where we really do believe that the best parts in business happen in good company. Take care.
Thanks for listening to In Good Company. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. For more information or to connect with Mike, visit him online at thomasmediagroup.co or on Instagram at Michael L. Thomas. Thanks again for listening, and remember, the best of business happens in good company. We'll see you next time.